you. I'm excited too.
Well, Linda, starting off on this beautiful day, what has been one of your biggest obstacles and how in the world did you get over it?
Okay, so one of my biggest obstacles, I think one of them was I was working for an international PR firm as a consultant, loved it, wanted to work there full time. So they were going to crunch the numbers, and the numbers came out horrible. I mean, it just was not what I wanted, what I needed. And my husband, God love him, he suggested that, look, you've been a consultant, start your own business. That way you're in control of everything. And it probably was the best decision of my life. And I love it.
What was the obstacle?
Well, the obstacle was I was afraid that if I didn't have a full-time support system where I was getting a paycheck from week to week or week to every 2 weeks, I was never going to make it. I couldn't make it on my own as a business owner because I didn't have any clients and really all it took for me was to put myself out there, which is scary, but I started getting clients immediately. And it was wonderful because it was people I'd met before and it became a referral based business.
This is very impressive, especially in your business, being a public relations, having your own public relations firm. That is all word of mouth, from what I understand.
It is, a lot of it is word of mouth. And that's not a bad thing. It's just a little bit more difficult.
How do you maintain your relationships with your customers? What do you do to make them feel that they're special, that they want to come back?
I try to, keyword try, because I haven't been totally successful. I'm trying now to emulate Mary and send out my cards and notes and things like that. I have in the past sent some gifts for the holidays and things like that, which keeps you a little bit top of mind of people. And if I've been able to get them on TV or in the newspaper, I try to send them like a clipping out of the newspaper and that sort of thing.
And I think that what I'm hearing from you is that feeling special, both on your own as an independent, as your own boss, and to make others feel. So I'm hearing it's like an inside job more than anything.
It is. I mean, that's a very good way to put it. It is an inside job. And, that kind of being able to make someone else feel good about themselves. I always say you've got to toot your own horn, because if you don't, no one else is going to. But for women, that seems to be very difficult. We have this innate personality where we're not all out in everyone's face.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's changing, but I do think that a lot of it came from, we watched our parents, we watched our mother, we watched the homemaker, the person that stayed at home and took care of everything. And, so breaking that mold and breaking that glass ceiling becomes a dream, but a lot of people have difficulty believing in that dream, I think. They just don't feel secure enough.
That is one thing that I come across as well. We are, and I know for myself, the limits we put on ourselves are us more than anything on the outside. And it's very interesting because even with all of your expertise and all that time that you had in this field, you still were concerned, maybe I'm not quite good enough.
Exactly. There's just that little twinge of doubt that keeps, coming up in the back of your head, and you've got to believe that you can do it.
Yeah, and to have that feeling that when those things come up, Either
Mhm.
it's a blessing or a lesson. It's trying,
Yes.
maybe it's trying to tell me something, maybe it's not. And
Mhm.
it's okay to have it there. Maybe it's to try to protect me against something. I don't know. At the
Right.
same time, I know that when I think about what would I like, and that's what I tell my clients, I say,
Mhm.
you know, if I could wave a magic wand, what would you like in your perfect world?
Right.
And
Right.
we can have our own quote unquote perfect world and know that it's
Mhm.
perfect as far as the world goes.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And I do believe that being your own business owner helps that a lot. You can manage your dreams a little better.
You did you ever experience a time in your business where you thought maybe I just should chuck it in? I mean, maybe this is just really
Yep. Oh
you
yeah.
have. You really did. What did you do? How did you face
Yes.
it?
You know, I did not have enough faith in myself, and I actually went to work full time at a television station here in town, working in the newsroom, just because I wanted that paycheck. I wanted it. I didn't believe I could do it on my own. And after almost 15 years, um, I parted ways with them. Just they were doing a bunch of layoffs. And at that point, it's like, I've got to get serious about my business. And I did. And it, once I made up my mind that I was going to make this happen, I did whatever was necessary to make it happen. And that's when it all started to fall into place and work out. But I had decided, no, it's not going anywhere. I probably should just, go work for someone else. And then and I was older by the time I decided, nope, this is going to work. I was so happy with it. You know, it just made it so much better to go back to it and believe in it.
I can understand that freedom. And also, I think sometimes people think if you have your own business, it means, you know, you have all this freedom. It's a lot of work, it's a tremendous amount of hours.
Yes.
But it's a different feeling because I know that I'm building for myself, I'm building for my legacy, I'm doing something that I believe in.
Right, right. And it does, it helps renew your faith when you put something into that and you really want to do it. If this is what your calling is, you want to get up every morning and do it. And that makes it so much more fun.
Absolutely, I can really see that. Do you have some favorite quotes that you could share with us?
Oh, I do. And it's
Oh,
funny
good.
when we're talking about the other one. One of my favorite is Eleanor Roosevelt. And it's, for your own success, you must contribute to the success of others. And I totally embody that. I think that is, for me to have a successful business, I need to make others successful. I build them up, don't tear them down. Because I think that, unfortunately, for many years, women did tear each other down. They're stepping on you going up that ladder, but they forget that at some point when they fall, they're going to pass you and you're going to be on top, and you've got to be kind to everyone. You just have to. And my other one is by Winston Churchill, which is, a pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, and an optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty.
Ooh,
So,
wow.
yeah, and I love that quote.
How does that apply to you?
Um, no matter what I have been through, deep down, I know I'm an optimist. I'm usually very happy. I like to see others succeed. And I think that I've known so many pessimists in my life sometimes that they just drag you down. They can't see anything that's good in anything. And while we all get a little pessimism every once in a while, you know, that may just be, like you said earlier, things may not have happened because that, you know, it just wasn't the right time. I mean, I think that that's it. I depend a lot on my faith. You know, I believe in letting go and letting God deal with it. And periodically, I think it's just time to, you know, you've got to put your faith somewhere and go on living.
So it's where you put your faith in. And that is so helpful because we can change our brains. It might sound a little uncomfortable or feel uncomfortable at first to say, or, you know, sometimes people say, look in the mirror and say 3 things that you like about yourself. At the same time, it can become habit.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I wonder if isn't positive the more natural response than negative. Although our brains kind of might tune to it because
Right.
from caveman times, we're kind of programmed because of, you know, survive or die.
Mm-hmm.
However, isn't it more natural to see things in a positive light?
Yeah. Well, it is for me. And I do try when I get up in the morning, and it's not always easy. And sometimes I forget, you know, like I'll go open the shades and just like, oh God, what a great day. Rain or sunshine. We need the rain. We need the sunshine. So I try to make sure I acknowledge something when I get up every day.
Yes, and that gratitude is just raising the vibration, raising the energy, and also allowing us to let more joy in our lives. And that's one of the reasons why I love interviews like this, because I get to talk with people like you that are inspiring and uplifting and have something that it's on their heart to contribute.
Right.
What would you like to see happen to all the women in the world? Some idea, mission, something? What would you like to see?
I would like to see them believe in themselves. I think that you can do anything if you believe in yourself. And, you know, you're going to question things along the way. But again, you got to have faith and believe in yourself, because deep down, you're the only one that knows what's best for you.
Did you come across this naturally? You're thinking like that, or was it something? Were your parents like that, or did you?
No, my parents actually weren't like that. I mean, you know, my mom always said, you know, you can do what you want. And she was very supportive, except when I wanted to go into public relations as opposed to business. But
Interesting.
yeah, they thought I should have a business degree, and that just did not work. Um, but one of the things, I think, there was just a point in my life where all of a sudden I woke up a different person. It was just, I was happier. I believed in myself. And I think it was just a conglomeration of people. My husband was so supportive that I could do no wrong. You know, he appreciated everything I did, and he made me feel like I could do it. So therefore I believed that I could do it.
And having that support, I think that for all of us to have that support, and you had such a wonderful support in your husband.
Yeah.
And that to me is so important. And all of us, I think, need support. And I think that sometimes saying, I need help, I don't know the answer.
Right.
You know, it's not humiliating, it's humbling.
If I've got a situation that I'm too stuck in the minutia of it and I can't see, I talk to a friend or, you know, something like that, that I know is going to be honest with me. I don't necessarily want them to be brutal, but I want them to be honest with me and help me see what I'm not seeing. Because I think we all get to a point sometimes where we get that tunnel vision and we focus on all that minutia that, you know, we just start slowing down and can't make it. And sometimes a glass of wine and a talk with a friend will get you out of that. Emphasis on the talk with the friend, not the wine, of course.
Well, and that's the thing. And also, I think that now that getting support in different ways, you know, be it through your spouse, through someone who is close to you or someone who's not, an objective
Mhm.
third person, be it
Right.
counselor, life coach, whatever, because that sometimes it helps people put things in perspective, like you were able to with your friend, and my hunch is your husband many times as well, that you could take that step back.
Right. You're absolutely right. I have a cousin that is 6 years younger than me, and we probably are the opposite on scales of personality. And she is brutally honest. And she has kicked me in the tush a few times where I'm like, you're right. And it's just amazing because she would say, I used to look up to you. You were my hero. You did it because you wanted to do it. And what's happened to you? And, I could sit there for a few minutes and go, you're right. You fall in sometimes to the negativity of people.
And I think that's the great thing about plugging into people that are positive, and also to have that routine, some sort of
Mhm.
quote unquote positive routine, and
Absolutely.
sticking to it consistently, because we're living life, this
Right.
is where we are. And I think sometimes people think that there's this ultimate happiness that we're supposed to have in life.
I
I don't
agree.
know about that. I think it's more of having joy in the journey as
Yes.
we face things.
And peace. I mean,
Peace, yeah.
everybody wants to be at peace with what's going on in their lives. And sometimes you got to let stuff go. It's just not good for you. So there are some things that I've ended friendships before because they were just not good for me. Not that it was a mean ending, it just sort of gradually slipped away, and it was the best for me and probably for her. Things like that. Same with clients. I've let clients go because, if you're going to pay me to do something for you, you need to listen to me.
To be heard. And I think a lot of things with a lot of times women, to be heard, I think, is a big thing. A big
Yes,
thing. And not maybe for men too, but I know as a female,
it is for
definitely
women,
is.
and to be trusted with what they're saying,
Yes.
you know, that we
Yes.
actually know.
That is
So,
so vital. And faith in ourselves, honesty, gut level, not butt level honesty,
mhm.
knowing that we can do it and that we have something to offer. These are great points you brought up today. And thank you for being with us. You are
Oh,
as
thank you,
inspired as
Cindy.
I
It was
thought.
fabulous. I
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
it.